The final section in this strategic sales levers module is talking about having a group and agent strategy. So what I'm talking about here is that this is just a strategy that you may like to adopt, but there's a few caveats or warnings with this one here. I mean, clearly group business is good because it's volume, and working with travel agents, again, is volume, not in a group sense, but it's volume because they've got access to a lot of corporates and other people that are traveling. And it's really good to have a group and agent strategy, but be prepared for heavy discounting. So to actually tickle this market, you've actually got to be putting really, really good offers out there to actually get the business. But that's fine, because the upside is that typically it's longer lead and it helps you build base, which we'll talk about building base in the next two modules. Building base is such an important metric or foundation of being able to dynamically price your property. If you can get, the sooner you can get bookings into your hotel, the better off you'll be. The more visibility you have of where you're at and where you're going to end up, the better you're able to forecast. And so there's a massive upside to building base and getting future bookings, even if it's at a heavily, heavily discounted rate. So turning on the group and agent market, not massively easy, full of heavy discounts, but can be valuable. But you need to decide whether it's right for you. The only reason you do it is so you can yield the property. All right? If for me, that's why you do it. You're better, because often their rates will be very, very low. And when I say yield, what I mean is get that base in, and that puts you in a position for later when the rest of the demand, the normal sort of lead time and demand comes in. You're in a position to go, you know what? I'm going to fill because I've got this base. If I didn't have that base, if I can do a diagram, you've got the base there, and I think I've got some diagrams in the later modules. If you've got the base there, then your normal demand comes in, you can see it's going to overflow over to 100% occupancy. If you've got no base, everything else slides down. The normal demand pops in, you're left with 40 rooms left to fill. Well, maybe you should have had some base in there to keep that up there, and that puts you in a position to yield these last rooms, price them even just a little bit stronger, as opposed to being down here discounting. So discounted rooms allows you to get better for this. So the whole mix of that is a really positive number, but again, it's getting a little bit more advanced, and we encourage you to explore it if you feel you're ready. But you really need to just decide if it's right for you. So we're talking here about travel agents, tour groups, sporting clubs, social clubs, car clubs, and you can approach all these things directly, or again, keep an eye on major events and things that are happening in town and try and track some of that. But my message here around group and agent strategy is around building base. The purpose of it is to help you leverage later, leverage your rates later. So it's getting that early business in is the key. So explore that if you wish.